Guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale. Today, as many of you saw on the global leaderboards, I've been chilling with Pompeo and I'll tell you what, guys, you're in store for some for some amazing gameplay today. So, hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale. Today, we're going to go ahead and what are we doing today?
Everybody hurts sometimes.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale. As many of you saw in game, I am in a clan with Pompeo, who's been holding down the #1 spot in the game for over 24 hours now. He's a beast. He's been on the channel many times. He's still the pro to beat in CWA Pro vs Pro. Today, we're going to get a true look at the evolution of minor decks, minor poison. And that's not the deck that he's playing that you just saw on the screen. By the way, you will be seeing a lot of max Royal Ghost gameplay. Pretty much everybody Pompeo plays has a max Royal Ghost, and of course Pompeo does too. Let's go ahead and hop into the first replay here. Now guys, you're in for a treat today. I've watched all of these replays, and I gotta tell you, it's just really cool to see this deck in action and how frustrating it can be. First, we're gonna watch it against this deck he's playing against. It's really a new meta, I don't know, splash yard type deck because it has the Hunter and the Baby Dragon in it. No Tornado though, so we'll see how this deck does. In my legendary ranking video yesterday, which by the way, a lot of you guys agreed and a lot of you guys disagreed with my legendary ranking. Some people really take that to heart, man. Just my opinion, guys. But I did rank Graveyard pretty low on the list, the 3rd worst legendary, and this is really why. You'll see in this matchup how frustrating it can be if you're a Graveyard user and you're going against a poison deck. So let's kind of zero in on the gameplay here, and we can take a look at why that is. So here we go. It's a Royal Ghost versus Royal Ghost. In the left lane there, of course, the opponent, we'll just call him Units. Units, Royal Ghost comes out victorious there. Pompeo forced to use a defensive miner, which he is apt to do from time to time. You'll see in these replays that got him to #1 in the world. He had to use defensive miners quite frequently, especially in that situation. A Royal Ghost coming his way, and he didn't have a good card in the deck. The thing about this deck is Royal Ghost is good, but not necessarily always good on defense against another Royal Ghost, as we of course know. The only option you have is to drop your Royal Ghost after their Royal Ghost already targets your Princess Tower. So you have the miner that you're going to be leaning on rather heavily in situations like this one. You can see, guys, in the right lane right here, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, ever since miner was changed, unfortunately, it can be countered by poison. And that's a 4-6 trade, and it's just really annoying as a Graveyard user if your opponent has poison. And if you have poison, you're going against Graveyard, well, what are you going to do? You're always going to sit on that poison for when the opponent uses the Graveyard, and it's going to be a positive exchange in your favor. The reason they can do that is because the duration of the Graveyard was shortened, and the skeletons always spawn along the perimeter. That way the poison has time to kill them before they're able to bombard your tower. So that's why, even though it was kind of a pseudo buff or a rework of the card, I think because poison is so prevalent in the game, well, you guys get the point, okay? So here we go, back to the gameplay here. It's going to be a solo skeleton barrel in the right lane, and you'll notice that Pompeo does this from time to time. He's apt to throw a skeleton barrel naked on the opposite lane as a big push is coming, just to force the opponent to use some sort of a counter, taking away the elixir that they would normally be using on their big push that otherwise he may not have been able to handle. Again, using poison to counter that Graveyard in the left lane. Meanwhile, in the right lane, this is where the damage is going to start to add up a little bit. You can see, not all the time are there big, lucrative pushes on Pompeyo's part. We're 45 seconds or so left in overtime here, and look at both of the towers. You know, the lower tower is at 2214 HP, so how is Pompeo going to pull this off? Well, in double elixir time and into overtime is where this deck really can put out a lot of damage. And you can see Pompeo really has this combination down where he sends in the Skeleton Barrel, the Surviving Inferno Dragon, or even the Royal Ghost at the bridge. Usually 2 or 3 troops at the bridge in double elixir time. Here it is again, Mega Minion, Royal Ghost, Skeleton Barrel, and then comes in the Miner and the Poison. So really it's a 5-card push that's the main offensive push for this deck. And the death damage alone of the Skeleton Barrel, remember the death damage, zap plus death damage of Skeleton Barrel can kill minions. By the way, huge shout out to my YouTube sponsor of the day. I missed his name and I don't edit, so I'm going to pull it up right now. My boy, Aaron Snyder. Aaron, thank you so much for sponsoring the channel. I really appreciate it, man. All right, now on to the next replay here, guys. We have, Emin Bey, who's really one of the world's best 3 Musketeer players. Really a perennial force to definitely be dealt with at the top of ladder with 3 Musketeers using the classic 3 Musketeer deck. Pompeo getting a really early punish on that left tower, taking it down to 1218 HP. He saw the Emin Bey pumped early. He saw Emin Bey's name, let's be honest, and he automatically thought 3 Musketeers. So as soon as he saw the pump come down, he was ready to punish. Now I do want to focus in on a couple of the specific decisions that Pompeo makes during this match. So not this one right now, but when Emin Bey starts splitting 3 Musketeers, I want you guys to pay attention to exactly how Pompeo handles it, because we can learn a lot from that specific encounter here. So check out this push, guys. In the right, Pompeo used the zap against the minion horde because he knew, again, the death damage, the new death damage of the Skeleton Barrel will kill that minion horde. Emin Bey can't be happy about that. So again, the zap plus the Skeleton Barrel death damage can be used to your advantage no matter what deck you're playing. If it has zap or Ice Spirit or Ice Golem in Skeleton Barrel, you can kill goblins or minions. So here we go again, another push for Pompeo. He's gonna have his finger on the trigger here for this poison, but he's gonna wait to see how much damage his Royal Ghost can put out first. So the Royal Ghost couldn't kill everything there, so he opts to go ahead and use that poison. The Miner won't even reach his tower. So right now, guys, he used the poison. He knows that Emin Bey is gonna have a big 3 Musketeer push on the way. Let's see right now is what I'm talking about. How does he handle this push? So right away, he drops an Inferno Dragon and a Skeleton Barrel in the 1 Musketeer lane. And then once he sees the opponent commit to the Battle Ram, he drops a Mega Minion in the middle. So he hasn't defended it all in the left. He's gonna wait and use the Royal Ghost all by himself, defending the 2 Musketeers on the left, and then the Inferno Dragon cycled all the way back to, again, in the left lane. That was a good job defensively there by Pompeo, and he immediately goes into the counter push here. Why was it such a good job? Well, basically what he was able to do is mitigate either of those 2 towers taking a ton of damage. And no matter what you're playing, you should always know going against 3 Musketeers, you want them to split their damage. They're gonna get a lot of damage on your towers. Your goal is to make sure they split the damage because they have no big spell that they can take out your tower towards the end of the game. So here we go, 700, 600 HP left on the left tower. However, Pompeo's gonna get this left tower of Emin Bey's down really low here with this poison within zap range. However, he is gonna have to defend this right side first using the E-Wiz along with the Royal Ghost, shutting down that Battle Ram and then pulling off the victory in turn. So guys, I do want to take a moment to recommend some legendary substitutions for you guys. If you don't have the Royal Ghost, well, that's a tough one because Royal Ghost really is kind of Dark Princey and he's kind of bandity. He's like a bandit and a Dark Prince kind of combined. So what you kind of want to do is think about what one of those subs makes most sense for you. A lot of people prefer that splash damage of the Dark Prince, and it does make some sense, but not necessarily in this deck. I feel like the Bandit is probably a better fit in this deck than the Dark Prince is. You get a little bit more of that punish ability, that punish dash ability, and a little bit more defensive power in some situations. Actually, probably the Dark Prince has more defensive power in every situation, but certainly the offensive massive versatility and also keeping the average elixir cost the same. So it's really up to you guys. Maybe it depends on if you have the bandit even unlocked. So go with the Dark Prince if you don't have bandit, or if you have bandit or their bandit's not high level, go with Dark Prince. If you do have a high level bandit for ladder, go ahead and certainly use the bandit. For Ewiz, that's another kind of tough one. Ewiz is pretty important in this deck, but you can probably get away with using Ice Wiz, or if you don't have Ice Wiz either, probably a regular old Musketeer. Poor Musketeer, she's like the substitution for every single air targeting legendary, I feel like, but the truth is, she's probably your best bet. So now we're going against Matt G here. He has a new meta bridge spam deck. This is like the new bridge spam, guys. I see this deck going around everywhere on Twitter right now. It's like the old bridge spam, but the Royal Ghost and Mega Knight in there instead of, what was the other two subs? Night Witch and something. I'm actually seeing Night Witch in a lot of these decks as well. Anyway, Pompeyo's going to go ahead and counter the Battle Ram with a Royal Ghost of his own, forced to use again that defensive miner that we talked about earlier this video to stop that push from doing more damage than it already did there. But overall, pretty good defense by Pompeyo, and he has the damage advantage lead here. And you can see the Skeleton Barrel throughout all these matches really is the true MVP of this deck, I feel, even more so necessarily than the Royal Ghost, although you guys know this already, I think the Royal Ghost is truly OP right now. However, here we go. It's a big counter push here from Matt G. Let's see how Pompeyo handles this. It's a Battle Ram, a Royal Ghost, and a Mega Knight. Of course, he's going to use a Royal Ghost of his own and an Ewiz to try to buy some time against that Mega Knight. Meanwhile, the Inferno Dragon's able to take out the opponent's Royal Ghost, and the Mega Minion just doing work here the Inferno Dragon doing work, taking out the opponent's Mega Minion. And we got, guys, you already know the big push that is coming from Pompeyo, forcing the opponent to have to sacrifice a Battle Ram, still get skeletons to the tower there. Oh, what a nice counter push by Pompeyo. And look at this, the Royal Ghost is going to go right past the other Royal Ghost, and here it is, Mega Minion push again incoming here for Matt G. Matt G also a really good player from Nova. He is also in the top 5 at the time of this recording right now in the world, and he plays this matchup really well. So here comes Skeleton Barrel doing a little bit of damage on the death damage, but a nicely timed zap for Matt G, able to mitigate any of the skeleton damage. But here it comes, Pompeyo's going to start relentlessly going in with the minor poisons. That's the first minor poison, taking that tower down to the 200s. So one more minor poison cycle, and that tower is probably down there for Pompeyo onto Matt G. He just has to defend this big push first. There it is, a good defensive miner played just at the perfect time to circumvent that Mega Knight from going to the right tower, instead pulling him to the center of the arena. Really well played there by Pompeyo. Gets another poison down on that right tower, able to finish off the game there. That was a close one. I mean, it didn't seem that close because of the amount of hit points left on his tower. However, Matt G played that pretty well, and he had some really big pushes that Pompeyo really, showing off what Pompeyo does, playing some really, really good defense there. So now the last deck, the last replay is going to be against this Hog deck. This is an old school deck. Well, it's been around for maybe, I don't know, as long as the Tornado's been around pretty much, or as soon as they rebuff the Ice Wiz. It's the Tombstone Ice Wiz Hog deck. Cool to see this deck still being played in the top 20 global at the time. So it's going to be going against Yusef there at the bottom, still playing the Rocket as well. It's like the same exact old school deck here. I shared this deck maybe months and months ago on the channel. I'll see if I can find it. If I can, I'll link it in the description below for you guys. Anyway, he's going to get a Hog to that right tower. He's only going to get 2 hits off the tower there with that slower swing rate there. Some people say they can tell about the Hog nerf. Others say they can't tell at all and Hog is still OP. I don't know what side of the argument that you guys fall on. I guess I'm somewhere in the middle. I can notice just slightly, but I still think that Hog is certainly one of the strongest win conditions in the game, whether you're in Arena 6 or Arena 12. So here we go. Yusef really, having to sacrifice that poor Ice Wiz. Now he goes to his doom on the tower. Not going to get a hit off on that right tower. Things are pretty much even right now in this matchup. So here comes a Royal Ghost, played by Pompeyo. He did have the elixir advantage advantage. And remember, Royal Ghost can be targeted by a log or a spell, even though he's still invisible. So a good kite job here by Yusuf, gonna pull him across lanes, gonna use the Mega Minion to help clean up a little bit there. Pompeo backing up his Mega Minion with an E-Wiz, and here comes the Skeleton Barrel. So the Skeleton Barrel probably not gonna get any damage this time, but Pompeo, however, he does opt to use a poison, getting a little bit of chip damage here. So now it's gonna be Royal Ghost used to counter the Hog Rider. So the Hog Rider's again going to get, what did he get, 1 or 2 hits off that tower? I don't know, keeping things pretty close either way. So again, the Royal Ghost is going to be kited. This is how you deal, by the way, with a Royal Ghost. Very similar that you would to a Mini P.E.K.K.A. or even a Mega Knight if you want to kite him into the opposite lane. However, look at this, the Royal Ghost still going to live to get, what, 3 swings probably? Maybe even 4 swings on that left tower. Just barely 3 swings on that tower. Really, really incredible. Shows the power of the Royal Ghost there. And then the Rocket was really, in my opinion, Yusuf's probably mistake here. He could have probably played for a tie at that point, before that point, but now from here on out, Pompeyo's going to be absolutely relentless, basically just spamming the bridge here, knowing that his opponent used a naked rocket against his tower. So here it comes, playing a Royal Ghost, trying to cycle to the Miner, or where is the Royal Ghost? Is it going to be Royal Ghost? Where is it? Ash, come on. Don't screw this up, man. Okay, he's playing a Miner, not a Royal Ghost. Finally, he plays the Royal Ghost, saving it for the Hog Rider. He had the Royal Ghost selected because he was anticipating the Hog Rider. Finally, it came, but he was able to finish off the tower using a combination of minor chip damage and, of course, poisons. So, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Hey, I've been gaining a little bit of subscribers lately. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I feel, feel pretty good right now after in the holiday spirit maybe. I just wanted to thank all the new people to the channel. Welcome you no matter where you are from the world. You always have a nice home here at CWA fam. I want to give a huge shout out to all of you guys, whether you're an OG sub or brand new to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. And of course, a huge shout out to Bren Chong, my YouTube partner. Check out his information in the description below. Guys, thanks so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys.